All right, guys, as you just saw with that last fish, I like to work 2 rods sometimes when especially with this combination. When I got a crawdad and a lizard, I like to throw the crawdad out and let it sink and sit. So I notice a lot of times they'll come investigate it, and they'll watch it sink, and they'll investigate it and watch it just sit there. And while I'm throwing out the lizard and letting it sink, they'll have had plenty of time to look at it, so that when I come over here and pop the rod, reeling the slack a little bit, I can let it fall again. Then a lot of times you'll get a strike right then, or they'll already have bitten it from when it was falling. And so I can keep alternating right there. Got him. Just like that. By letting it sit on there and alternating, I was able to work 2 rods. If I was just working that crawdad, I wouldn't have been able to get it. Oh, we got a nice one here too. Getting him in the boat. We're gonna reel this one in so we don't get a second fish. Go ahead and measure this big boy while we got him on this rod. Yeah, 17. Be a decent 2-pounder or so. $2.11. All right, so there you go. That's why I like working 2 rods. It's a great combination for a lizard and a crawdad. A crawdad you let sink to the bottom, and a lot of times while it's on the bottom, they'll hit it. I noticed this is some pretty clear water. I mean, you can see all the way to the bottom, and so you can watch the bass a lot and how they're acting. And so I noticed that when I throw that crawdad, they would really watch it fall, and when it sat there, they would come over there and just investigate it, and they would either just pick it in their mouth just to see and taste it, or they would whenever I would pop it, they would go for it. And so, you know, it's a real patient bite that you got to have with that crawdad. And so by throwing it out there and letting it do its magic, I can start fishing something else that requires a little bit more action, like the lizard. And by going back and forth, each one has its time to settle and attract the fish and allow them to bite it. You know, it's just a great combination to really cover multiple spots and really increase your chances of catching fish. All right, guys, same deal. We're gonna toss the crawdad out, and I set my rod down so that if it gets yanked out, my foot will catch it. And as you can see, as it's going right here, it can't move, right? So this is protected, and my reel is actually protecting it. So if it were to go this way, I'd have plenty of time to actually set the hook and everything. Lock it in place with my leg. Get the lizard, toss it out in a different area, and let it sink. Pop the crawdad a little bit so if anything's looking at it, it can watch it, it can hear it. And now we're gonna come over here and inch the lizard along, give it some action, set it down. We're gonna be watching the line. See, the line's moving a little bit, but that's because of the kayak, most likely. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is then turn it this way, give us some slack in both lines. I'm gonna be watching for those lines to straighten out right now. Pop, pop, pop. I'm checking to feel if there's any weight. That's really all you're doing. There it is, right there. Oh, that was on it. I had it. But just like I was doing there, I was checking to see if there was any weight. Oh yeah, it had it. And when you feel that weight, that's when you set the hook. You're not really doing anything other than moving it just a little bit, giving it a little bit of action, letting any fish watching it realize that it is alive, making a little noise with the little rattle weight. But mostly you're just inching along and checking to see if you have any weight on there. Anytime I'm messing with this rod, I'm looking at the other one, watching for that line to run. Once I feel there's no weight, I start watching this one, and I'm just using my feeling to see if there's any weight on there. Got Uncle Norm's bait buddy. This stuff is amazing stuff, man. I like to gob it on there, toss it out, and let it sink a little bit. Let that scent kind of smother that area. If anything bites it and tastes it, it'll taste that scent and give you plenty of time to set the hook. So I'm gonna let that start falling now. There's a bed over here and a bed over here. So I'm gonna kind of work these two spots at the same time. Just checking for weight. Watching the other line. When the kayak starts turning too much, I just turn it back again, and then look, you'll have all that slack there. So if any fish hits that, I have plenty of time to put the other rod down and grab it. Set it right in there because I know there's a bass that likes patrolling that area. Right in a little sand. I don't know if you can see it. Give plenty. Oh, there we go. Got it. See the advantage of working two? Alright, we got another score. Ha! Here's a nice bed right on the edge of a cliff. Let that sink. There's another one right there. Uh-oh. Told you. Got it. Small one, but I knew they were there.